Hey boss, got a hypothetical for you? You got a friend, see? Somebody you knew when you were growing up. You were close. Then one day, they up and vanished. 5 years go by, they send you a message out of the aether. What's going through your head? Guy by the name of Clyde Harlow. He was an old friend of mine. Honestly, he was probably my first and longest friend. I just heard from him. Says he wants to talk to me. Says it's urgent. Figured I should let you know, seeing as we're on Scylla and all. Clyde's got a base on the other side of this rock. I appreciate this, boss. I know you're going out of your way for me.
Board had an asteroid mining operation out here. What happened to him? Looks like some sort of habitation. Oh, good boss! Try another weapon!
That's the last Some crew members.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts? I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? Oh, I see. You have my condolences. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. I must admit I'm feeling trepidation about meeting this so-called hermit. I may finally find the answers I've been looking for. But will they be enough? I suppose they'll have to be.
Great work. back, Captain.
Down they go! Don't mess with us!
We were destined to prevail.
Salutations. This unit's primary function is excavator. Owner, Hephaestus Mining Corporation. Other functions include dialogue, limited, current, active commands, excavation. That is all. Negative. The presence or absence of human operators does not impact this unit's assigned directive. This unit achieves perfection by fulfilling its directive.
You know, it's a crying shame that auto mechanicals can't get drunk. Or laid. This thing needs both.
Dedication is a virtue. Let's leave the automech to it.
This unit has now exhausted its available library of opinions about excavation. This unit is removing rock matter in search of minerals, metals, and other forms of matter designated valuable. Brevity identified. Affirmative. This unit could discuss excavation at greater length, but does not wish to strain its daily charge. Thank you for your consumer loyalty, Junior Excavator. This unit will store this exchange in its memory banks, always.
I recognize this. Dead set on screwing this place up, too.
You can only move forwards or... Trouble incoming!
Nice work! That's the last of them.
Who would like to die first?
Don't mess with us. Here we go.
Nice hit!
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth. Something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are. It's an old cave system we tried to turn into an encampment. You'll see when we get there. Fucking right we are.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We're now in orbit above Fallbrook.
Go! We can handle this!
Don't mess with us. Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first. But for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. Believe me, I had my complaints. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong. Me too, Captain. But I'm starting to think that maybe I found another. Now let's get to shooting before I get all sentimental.
Incoming! You're a deft hand with a mag pick.
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together, burying them. This is the kind of thing Hayes would have done. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but that also makes it right. Captain, thank you. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to bury Opal and Clara proper before I lay everyone's medallions to rest. What? Why? Them's painful memories, Captain. Huh. That ain't a bad point. All right, Captain. Thanks.
guess. Knock, knock.
Said you docked 3 days ago?
Give or take.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial. Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. Sugar gel flakes and purple berry flavor caramel.
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at 1,000,000 bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You know what? Fuck it. Enjoy yourself. I invest in the happiness of my workers, and you deserve a bigger cut. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. No one you saw, anyway. Glad to see you're looking out for yourself. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine sounds pleased as a pig in shit over cornering the Borst markets. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? Like they were hanging on to your every word, scheming. And when you turned around, maybe they just oinked like innocent little idiots? You talk that way to your last boss? Consider yourself on notice. That attitude has no place in a legitimate business like mine. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? Attaboy. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. They're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
Oh sure, that sounds like a real easy job.
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge? We've reached HRS-1084, Captain. It's emitting a very weak docking signal. I almost mislabeled it.
Nothing but the void here, Captain. I just as soon leave it cold, dark, and derelict.
Oh, I see you have activated your holographic shroud, Captain. Excellent. Becoming indistinguishable from an authentic UDL trooper will prove advantageous to your current situation. A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently docked with the station. They are patching into the station's transmission lines now. I cannot stop...
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. Wait, who are you? No one told me we had security forces deployed on the station already. Roger that. Just as a precaution, I'm sure you won't mind if we turn on the station's security systems. Can't be too careful. We'd hate to leave this location undefended after a close call with outlaws. That should have been fixed by now. As you say, we'll just head out then. Safe travel, soldier.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station. They appear to be departing into space.
I ought to try talking more and fighting less. Seems like it saves on ammunition. That ain't no fun.
both a marvelous and terrifying thing to behold. In this case, however, I'd say it's more the latter. Sublight will be well pleased that you have claimed the station for them. Myself, I'll be fine leaving this place. Chartrand. Sounds awfully familiar. That was the scientist from Cascadia, right?
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen. The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking. Captain, you're free to disembark.
Rizzo's mock apple cider. A hard cider or a hard rum.
Finally, a base of our own. Soon we'll have eyes on every corner of the system. Well done, Captain. I'll have those dismantled. You can never be too careful when moving into someone else's territory. Aside from the automated security, did you meet any resistance at the station? I knew it. They've been shadowing us since Monarch, maybe even longer. I've been less than honest with you. Your assignments weren't strictly about the salvage business. You might have figured that out already. That's right. Up until now, I've kept you in the dark, for your protection. And more importantly, mine. But I'd like to think we've earned each other's trust. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. I didn't like the picture. Then what we found at Station 1084 confirmed my fears. You and I have stumbled onto something big. Something none of us were meant to know. Maybe the worst. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was studying that Alta Vitae gas in secret. Ask yourself why stockpiles were hidden on a planet full of monsters. Before we go any further, I want you to keep an open mind. Can you do that for me, Captain? Aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible for the deaths at 1084, and who knows what else. We have to put a stop to it. Hear me out. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to believe it. But I need to act on this threat to the colony, and I can't do it alone.
Captain, in my humble assessment, Ms. Hagen is insane.
Right. I'm done. I'm officially tuning you out until such time as I hear the words payment and/or shooting. The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walking into the unknown with blindfolds on. I assume you have questions? If we're gonna see this through, I'll need your trust and commitment. Now's the time for setting doubts aside. Conspiracy. One carried out with the help of human collaborators, assuming they haven't all been replaced. This is an invasion of our very cells. That damned gas is mixing our nucleon with halcyon biology to twist us, change us, make us more like those monsters on Monarch. No kidding. That's how they want it. When I lined up the evidence in my spreadsheet, there was only one possible conclusion looking back at me. This is my data talking, not my anxiety or lack of sleep. Sharing my findings took a calculated risk. If you were a spy, I doubt you'd even realize it. Only your cells would know. Probably nothing to worry about, as long as you don't start growing tentacles or slowing down time. Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She sold out her species, and I need you to put a bullet through her skull. She's a research scientist and a damn good one. Before UDL poached her, she engineered a 0.2% increase in cystipig juiciness. Now she's doing the same thing with humanity. Her fingerprints were all over Station 1084. You saw what she did to her team. It's cute that you'd think that about me. I just want to add Savior of Humanity to my resume. I've got ambitions outside of this office, you know. Besides, this way Sublight gets first dibs on alien salvage. You don't just turn down an exclusive deal on extraterrestrial scrap. That's amateur shit. Just think of it as salvaging hope from the smoking wreckage of humanity. This is your initiation into a future with Sublight. Want a steady position in our ranks? Buy one with a bullet. Well, there's your usual fee. What else do you want, a promotion? It's yours. Even better. I'll owe you one. We're far beyond theories. Chartrand's logs, the gas, the suspension tanks, how much proof do you need? Wake up, Captain. An invasion needs collaborators working from the shadows.
She has access to the board, unlimited funds, and a colony full of sheep. Do you usually come across innocent people trapped in suspension tanks? Because some of us would call that excessive. Remember, the tanks were just the shit she left behind. Just imagine the experiments she carted off to her next lab. This keycard will get you through the front door of her Byzantium estate. Don't ask how I got it. You might not like the answer. By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust anything Chartrand says. She's compromised down to the bone. Maybe even deeper than that.
Some crew member are causing a disturbance on the ship. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
A word, Captain?
Not so fast. All right, you're cleared. The adjutant's expecting you. Go on through.
I see you haven't been shot to pieces by the guards. Do you have an appointment? Of course. You're that curious spacer Mr. Bedford mentioned. Just a moment, please. Madam Adjutant, Bedford's contact has arrived. Shall I clear your schedule?
No, thank you, Percival. I doubt this will take long. I'm Sophia Akande, adjutant to the chairman. I've been reading all about you. This dossier from Emerald Vale was especially engrossing. You know the location of Dr. Phineas Wells. I'm interested. But I'm not yet sure I can trust your information. I have a job for you. One of our cartographers needs to be retired. I want you to carry it out. Rachel Lockwood, cartographer for the Bureau of Exploration. She's done some sensitive work for us, but now she's a loose end. Lockwood has to go. Get rid of her. Bring me her work. Then we'll talk about Dr. Wells.
It is a sad fact of the cosmos that sometimes the ends do indeed justify the means.
You keep colorful associates, Captain. I expect you'll put them to good use. At the very least, I expect you to do better than the other freelancer. Report back to me when you're finished. We've hired outside contractors before. There's another freelancer working this job, but he's been dragging his heels. Dependable and competent freelancers are hard to come by. For your own sake, I hope you prove to be the exception and not the rule. Excellent. Percival will handle your paperwork for you.
Crew report. Bioka is drunk. Surprise.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board.
If they'd sent money to Monarch instead of building even one of those homes, I bet we could have rebuilt Stellar Bay. The whole damn thing.
Course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets,
All right, how does this sound?
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow.
Welcome. Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Damn, fine, you got me. I ain't a receptionist. Truth be told, I'm glad you know. Lying to a stranger weighs heavily on my spirit. I was hired to cross off Ms. Lockwood. Thought I'd pose as her receptionist. Brilliant, right? Thing is, she ain't shown up in ages. So here we are. I'll just tell her I'm the replacement. If she calls me on it, I'll kill her. If she buys it, I'll kill her. Win-win. Ha! Hope you don't mind a bit of competition. May the best receptionist win. Perish the thought. I don't just waltz about murdering who I please. I am a professional. I have got standards. Hey, I tried to convince him to take a vacation. He wasn't hearing it. Some people's work ethic is just too strong for their own good. I'm gonna wait for her to return. Tell you what, you find out where she is, you let me know, yeah? As a professional courtesy. Then we can both have at it. And whoever kills her better gets the contract. What do you say? Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Nicely done.
I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment. Have a prosperous day.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here.
Get away from me! Were you following me? Back off, all right? I've got a slide rule and I'm not afraid to use it.
Hey, you found her. I'm a little miffed you didn't let me know, but all's well that ends well. Let's get to killing.
What? Killing? What the fuck is going on here?
My friend and I here have jobs to do. You just sit tight for a minute while we discuss how we're gonna handle this. The contract calls for her maps, yeah? Half the bits for the maps, half for the confirmation of the kill. How's about I take the kill, and you take the maps?
Hold on, okay? Just hear me out. What if...
Will you pipe down? We're trying to have a business meeting here. You must be new to the assassination game. If you talk to your victims, it makes it harder to kill them, see? It's not recommended. Didn't you read the handbook?
Please, just listen. You don't need to...
Shush! Oh, all right. The anticipation is killing me, though. Get it? Because I want to kill her?
Wait. Whatever the contract is, I'll pay you both the full amount. You let me live, and you don't have to split anything.
That's a lot of bits. But, I mean, I've got a reputation to uphold. How would you feel if someone paid you to make bogus maps? You know, my friend, that's a fine point. If I hightail it out of here, I can avoid the inside of a cell for once. All right. Deal.
Thank the law. Here's your half. And here's yours.
Right. Well, you two, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. Yeah. I honestly hope I never see either of you again. I swear I'll leave Byzantium. I'll leave Terra too. I'll find a way off Halcyon, if I can.
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
A vicar, huh? You a true believer, or do you just like the tithes?
Why, that's borderline offensive, Ms. Ramnareem Wentworth. Of course I believe. The tithes are merely a well-earned bonus.
I met another believer once.
Impressive place Dr. Chartrand has.
After Cascadia.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking. My what conspiracy?
Captain, you cannot seriously believe this conspiracy nonsense.
Let's talk about this. Please, I think there's been a crucial misunderstanding. If you came looking for some elaborate scheme, it isn't here. All I'm doing is trying to keep Halcyon alive.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. Not for lack of trying. I wanted to save them all, but I wasn't strong enough. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks.
So you doomed the greater good for the well-being of a few bad apples.
I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
I can certainly understand why.
That ain't a shock. Board folks will lie to their own mothers if it preserves their paychecks.
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. Exactly. If colonists know we can't feed them or protect them, they'll begin to wonder why they need us at all. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off halcyon crops.
Fuck that. People are people, and ought to stay the way they were born. They start trying to tinker with my blood, I'll bury them.
Progress is the future. Adaptation is survival.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? For the last time, no. I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. You sure have an inflated sense of self-importance, but that doesn't make you wrong. Now move along. The doc has a lot of work ahead of her, tidying up and such. Hey.
I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project.
really need all the security. I have to go through just to take a bathroom break.
Captain, I wish to offer... We've arrived at the groundbreaker. I believe your choice to spare Chartrand would be considered the honorable path, yes? Sublight's money is...
Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We got the punch right
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species? Or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
I like her, Captain. Let's go before we have to paint this office with her blood.
What a surprise. Seems we're no longer wanted here.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab. We'll be here, Captain.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it, blast! I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor. Aha! I see you found my portable. I'd clap you on the shoulder if I weren't behind a wall of bulletproof
bulletproof glass. I don't know how you did it, but Hiram Blythe just sent me everything I needed. According to Hiram's message, Minister Clark has ordered a suspicious amount of dimethyl sulfoxide. It's almost as if he's hoarding the colony's remaining supply. Typical elitist, hoarding supplies during a time of scarcity. Once I have those chemicals, we can revive the Hope's colonists and put some decent people in charge. So, good news. You're going to Byzantium, and stealing those chemicals. Exciting. Ah, yes, the details. I'm not about to ask you to rampage through Byzantium trading bullets with the board's agents. We'll have to resort to subterfuge. Carmen Imagawa. She's my contact in Byzantium. Meet her at the docks. She'll have all the necessary intelligence you require. I'm giving you my old nav key to Byzantium. You'll need it to land in the Golden City. Remember, you're looking for dimethyl sulfoxide. Big green bubbling vessel with a warning label. I'll take as much as you can find. You can trust her if that's what you're asking. Imagawa is the finest special agent in Byzantium that money can buy. My money, anyway. Of course, of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my beans, have my caffeinoids, plenty of toilet paper. Absolutely. Let's talk. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. Life outside work? No, of course not. My life is my work. For that matter, everyone else's lives are also my work. An entire colony's worth of lives are at stake. It's up to me, up to us to set things right. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't revive themselves, you know. Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense. Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board and their narrow-minded scientists, you should be a pile of organic sludge right now. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it? We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, we are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. I understand. We have decided to continue supporting the outlaw scientist, Dr. Phineas Wells.
Since we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning to do. I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick. Which brings us to where we are today, several messages and a few years late. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, I was thinking you'd come too? Great! And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, wear that one. You're the boss. Anything else?
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded. Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me.